So before I begin my speech, please give a round of applause to that girl, very she, who spoke about like this. Ma'am, that girl. So union budget just came in and we don't care. Okay, so I assume all of you have a smartphone and we have a thing called WhatsApp in that. So in one of the WhatsApp groups, I got a message, a random fact कि उसमें कोई भी कुछ भी डालता है, एक गुड मॉर्निंग डालेगा, एक जय माता दी डालेगा, कुछ भी डालेगा, तो उसमें भी एक फैक्ट मिला मुझे कि around ₹17,000 crore was spent on women specific schemes past year. Overall 90,000 crore, which is equal to 1 lakh crore, was spent on overall women upliftment. पहला क्वेश्चन मेरे दिमाग में आया after hearing this much statistics that why do we need to spend this much amount of money on women welfare schemes? Is it justified? Well, before any feminist jumps in and starts screaming his lungs out defending women, I'll tell you it is justified. The reason is, let me take you 300 years back when male was predominant gender in day-to-day life, in all spheres of life. The job of women was really confined and restricted by men, unfortunately. Then came the French Revolution, which changed the entire perspective and women started getting rights. So, and the new idea came, named as gender equality. So, how many of you believe in gender equality? Good number of people. So, others do not believe. Okay, fine. So, there were also good people like you who believed in gender equality. And they thought, how do we bring gender equality? They were good people. So, what they did, the first thing that came to their mind is to kill all men. Sala problem hi khatam karo. But they went for less intense option, obviously. So the first thing they did was to make laws. They made laws to ensure integrity and the dignity and the safety of women. Laws like even in India, like no male officer can arrest a woman after sunset and before sunrise. Okay, this is a good law. I believe it personally. Then what they did. They thought a lot. Then what they did? They made more strict laws, like euphemism. So no male can stare at women. If you stare at women without her consent, you could land up to jail, and even have to pay a fine up to God knows how many sum of money. Now, personal advice: before you stare at women, take her permission or make a mobile folder, giving permission granted, and list down all the women who had given you the permission to stare at them. This is good law, I believe in it. The next measure taken was to give reservations to women, making law, like all spheres of life. Give them reservation in education, give them reservation in job, give them reservation in everything possible. This is also good law, I personally believe this is a good law. It helps you in ensuring that women get the job, but it doesn't address the fundamental problem that why women are not getting the job at first place. By reserving this kind of thing, what you do is that you are restricting the competition of men in the entire sphere. Rather, you can do is to create opportunities for women. That is one thing. The fourth thing, that is a really favorite of mine. They put enormous amount of money, like 1 lakh crore, which is to give you the magnitude of this amount, that is more money than the combined budget of ISRO and TRP. मतलब तुम 10-12 सैटेलाइट भी भेज दोगे ना तो भी इतना पैसा नहीं मिलेगा आपको. By spending this much amount of money, what they did, they created institutions like National Commission for Women, then the Bharatiya Committee, and this is a good thing. But the problem comes when the money which is being associated with this institution are not being spent properly. That's the problem. और आपको पता है मेल एम्पावरमेंट में ऐसी कौन सी इंस्टीट्यूशन है? बताता हूँ मैं. ABPPS. Can anyone guess what it is? It is Akhil Bharatiya Patni Pidit Sangh. एक वाहन घूमती है सिटी में, यहाँ पोस्टर लगा होता है कि कोई पत्नी पीड़ित पत्नी है तो आ जाइए हमारे यहाँ डोनेट करिए. ये है सिचुएशन. लिटरली दिस इज अ रियल फैक्ट. आई एम नॉट मेकिंग इट अप. There is a real group called Akhil Bharatiya Patni Pidit Sangh. Yeah. So doesn't matter. Women need empowerment. Yeah. Women need empowerment. Yeah. All this is fair to me, considering the amount of suppression oppression, injustice, inequality, discrimination women had to face in past couple of centuries, not even decades. In centuries women had to face this. So I accept this wholeheartedly. I have no problem in that. But the problem occurs when we think about these measures. These are partial. These all are partial and polarized measures. They do not bring gender equality. They bring women empowerment. And people always, misunderstand the gender equality with women empowerment. Like gender doesn't have a man at all. Gender is equal to women. This is the problem. You see, I'll give you an example that where I have a problem with that. These are all my personal opinions. Before I make any remarks, I'm neither feminist nor sexist. I'm just a happy guy. So yeah. The next thing I have a problem is that they never consider that men are not less empowered. They always assume that all men are empowered, so only women are there who need empowerment. Men are predominantly empowered. मतलब कोई भी लड़का भले चाय बेच रहा है वो बहुत मतलब empowered है वो बहुत पैसे है भाई पर दबा के रखते हैं पर भले चाय बेच रहा है. So this is one problem. The second and foremost problem is with the laws. Law says that we are bringing gender equality in the society, and the laws say otherwise. How? I'll tell you numerous laws, but I'll give you an example of two specifically. Indian Penal Code 1860 under Section 497, there is a law of adultery. It means if you have an affair with a girl which is a wife of somebody, so you can be charged under that law, not the wife. मतलब वाइफ कैन हैव मल्टीपल अफेयर्स. मतलब ये तो रामायण के मतलब जो महाभारत था उसका उल्टा हो गया. पहले लड़के रखते थे मल्टीपल वाइफ, नाउ गर्ल्स कैन हैव मल्टीपल अफेयर्स आउटसाइड देयर होम और व्हाटएवर, बट दे कैन नॉट बी चार्ज अंडर दिस लॉ. सही है, मैं मानता हूँ सही है. पहले अपने ने ऐसा किया तो भुगतान करना ही पड़ेगा. बात आती है दूसरे लॉ पे. सो हाउ मेनी ऑफ यू नो दैट सरबजीत एंड जसलीन कौर केस इन दिल्ली? या So case was pretty simple. लड़का बाइक से जा रहा था, वहीं ट्रैफिक सिग्नल में रोका हुआ उसने, और लड़की ने बोला कि मतलब ट्रैफिक सिग्नल नॉर्मली एक रूल होता है कि अगर तुम्हें लेफ्ट टर्न करना है तो तुम्हें ट्रैफिक सिग्नल फॉलो नहीं करना पड़ता. तो लड़की बोली कि मत जा. तो उसने बोला कि क्यों ना जाऊं. तो फिर इतने में लड़की ने फोटो खींच दिया एंड शी रोट लॉन्ग डिस्क्रिप्शन ऑन फेसबुक एज इफ शी इज एरिस्टोटल इन फ्लुएंट इंग्लिश. अब लड़के को इंग्लिश नहीं आती थी, ये पहली बात बता देता हूं. लड़के को इंग्लिश नहीं आती एंड हुआ क्या उसके बाद? पहली चीज, she got millions of shares of her post. पहली चीज. दूसरी चीज, उसके बाद क्या हुआ कि she got even praised by CM of Delhi. अब उसका तो मतलब छोड़ ही दो बात, मैं उसका नाम नहीं लूंगा वो कौन है. she got numerous interviews in TV channels and TV headlines were like, देखिए देश की प्यारी बेटी ने इस हैवानियत दरिंदे को डाल दिया. The irony is no one even asked a single question to guy that what happened. No one even considered asking the guy that what is the whole story. And the major twist in the plot came when High Court's verdict came. The guy also filed FIR. By way dignity थी कि भाई अपने भी FIR करेंगे. The High Court's verdict was that it was girl's fault. It was her fault entirely. So she was asked to withdraw her FIR on immediate basis. बस यही था. लेकिन लड़के के साथ क्या हुआ पता है? पहली चीज, he lost his job. पहली चीज. दूसरी, he lost his all friends. He lost his dignity. He went into severe depression. Just because that women filed an FIR on the wrong basis. ये इसलिए बना था क्या ये लॉ? मुझे तो नहीं लगता. This is completely unfair. Again, we need women empowerment. Why do we need men empowerment? Men are already empowered in all spheres. Okay. Another problem comes when women feel entitled to such privileges just because they are women. I'll give you an example. One of my close friends told me that you should respect women. I said, okay, but why? Because we are women. Now, I have a problem with this statement. It's not her fault on her end saying this thing. It was fault of our entire community. We were taught in schools, in college, even community seminars and whatnot. We should respect women just because they are women. I have a problem. We should respect women not because of their gender, but because of the capacity that they have built, because of the skills that they have developed, not because of the X gender they belong to. So this is what I told her. Now, but we should respect women because they are women. That's what society says us. Again. Now another example, Deepika Padukone, great girl. Deepika Padukone. उसने एक स्टेटमेंट दिया कि मैं घर पे सेक्स करूं या रास्ते पे लेट के बाहर कहीं पे सेक्स करूं, मेरी मर्जी, माय चॉइस. सही है, उसकी चॉइस है, क्या गलती है. लेकिन अगर यही चीज अगर कोई लड़का बोलता तो बोला क्या है भाई, चल डाल उसको, मतलब गया हो एक साथ के लिए तो फिक्स ही हो. लेकिन दीपिका पादुकोण लड़के, इवन प्रियंका चोपड़ा, आई नीड अ मैन ओनली फॉर गेट अ बेबी, नॉट एनीथिंग एल्स. This kind of statements are increasingly day by day, but no one cares because men are already empowered. Another example that girl gave, that first girl flew through Atlantic. Does anyone know who invented aircraft? Wright brothers. Did they say we were there? When first and Neil Armstrong landed on moon, did we say it was achievement of male kind? No. We said it was achievement of humankind. It was achievement of mankind, not male kind. So stop, putting labels on everything. If human does something, देखियो हमारी प्यारी बेटी ने ये कर दिया. Appreciate her because of her talent, not because of she is a woman. That's the difference. Now another thing, because I can't remember all these facts, so I have written it down. So yeah, there is a famous saying in Hindi that हर लड़के के पीछे लड़की का हाथ होता है, हर लड़के के सक्सेस के पीछे लड़की का हाथ होता है. मैं तो सुनता आ रहा हूँ बचपन से. Again, that girl gave example of Mahavir Singh, that two daughters of him. What is name? बबीता कुमारी है. मुझे तो मतलब गौर से सुनिए स्टेटमेंट. हर लड़के के सक्सेस के पीछे लड़की का हाथ होता है. अगर एक पॉइंट अगर आप पकड़े ना, हाथ बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है. अब इन दोनों के सक्सेस के पीछे महावीर सिंह का हाथ है. क्या वो लड़की है? मुझे तो नहीं लगता. महावीर सिंह लड़की का नाम तो नहीं है, लड़का है. I'll give another example. पीवी सिंधु, ओलंपिक सिल्वर मेडलिस्ट. उसके पीछे किसका हाथ है? गोपीचंद लड़की, लड़का. So we have been taught to accept the conventional definition कि लड़की मतलब कमजोर, women are less empowered and men are predominantly empowered. Is it so? No. Is it so? No. Then, well, I'll put forth certain facts before you guys. So, does anyone know what is 19th November is celebrated for? मैं तुझे पता है इसलिए. इसको भी नहीं पता था पहले. लेकिन वुमेन्स डे होगा तो लोग ऐसे सेलिब्रेट करेंगे जैसे उनके घर पे कोई बच्चा आ गया. मतलब जैसे अनदर मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ वुमेन, मतलब एंटायरली एक मिनिस्ट्री है वुमेन के लिए. अगर वुमेन मतलब भले किसी कंपनी की सीईओ भी बन जाए, फिर भी शी इज लेस एम्पावर्ड. दे अज्यूम दैट शी इज लेस एम्पावर्ड. बट मेल तो भाई मतलब आग लगा देंगे मेल, ऐसा है. फिर हाँ, ये इंपॉर्टेंट वन है. द आउटरेजिंग मॉडेस्टी ऑफ वुमेन इज क्राइम. इट मींस what? Yeah, okay, fine. So, outraging modesty of women is crime in India. It means if you, by any chance, or even inadvertently, it means by mistakenly, make any remarks on women or make any remarks on her modesty, it is a crime. But no, you can do whatever to make. Like you can shoot a video of him dancing in the floor and share it on Facebook. No laws can prevent it. Even in sexual assault, like in the definition of rape itself, it says that the touching of women without her consent or doing anything else, there is not a mention of man at all. Like if a sexual assault happens to man can go nowhere. That's the problem. These all laws are biased. We have to accept this fact. We need empowerment, but not only for women, for people. We need welfare, but not only for women. There are poor people who need upliftment. बेटी बचाओ बेटी पढ़ाओ नहीं, बच्चों को बचाओ और बच्चों को पढ़ाओ.